Good morning, my brother. How are you today?
I'm great. Good to see you.
And for our viewers,
Yes.
what you're viewing, tell us a little about yourself. Tell us your name, what you do,
Okay.
how you heard about this. Let's get it started.
Okay, yeah. Sherman Hamilton, obviously. Work for the Raptors, broadcaster, been doing it for years. Mark has been a very good friend of mine for a long time. And, when you look back and you think about what people's journeys are and how they get to where they are, there's a certain appreciation you have.
Yeah.
And I've known him for a long time, and I've seen him build his career and his art and his
Just
creativity.
evolve.
Yeah, he just does amazing things, and he's inspirational. And when he told me about this, I was like, don't even fill me in on the details. Just let me know when and where.
When and where.
That's it. When and where.
And you live such a busy life. You're out there doing your thing, but you hear flowers. And you and I go way back.
Yes.
We come from the same town since
Yes.
we were kids. What does flowers mean to you? And honoring people while they're alive.
Yeah, it's an interesting concept because it's not something that I feel happens very often until there's no more time to have interaction.
Correct.
And when I thought of it, I said, this makes a lot of sense. Like, let's tell people how we feel about them while they can still respond and appreciate it.
Right.
And there's a simplistic beauty to that. There's a humbleness to it. There's a respect factor. And there's a bigger understanding of the value of what that is. And I think this concept makes so much sense to me. I mean, we know each other for years,
Yes.
35 plus years.
Correct.
And you think about our journeys, and there's nothing more than when we see each other but saying, I'm proud of you.
Right.
I love you.
Right.
You were doing an amazing job.
Right.
Keep on pushing.
Right.
And that's something, especially between black men, that
Yes.
we don't tend to do enough.
Thank you.
And I think it's important for people to see men who are doing well in their life and are successful and are still looking at each other, not like competition, but like, you're making me proud.
Right.
You're inspiring me.
Nice.
Keep doing what you're doing.
Yes.
And I just love that idea.
I gotta ask Sherman because we come from a day when we were younger, we both lost our parents at an early age.
Yes.
And we don't take this for granted.
No.
And if we had the opportunity and they were alive, what would you do with flowers now if we had that opportunity?
We were talking about this a bit, and it's a bit emotional when you start to really delve into it.
Yeah.
Having lost a parent as we had when we were younger, there's a lot of things that we went through in our lives that we would have wanted them to be there
Right.
to help, support,
Right.
to guide,
Yes.
or just enjoy and be proud of what they've done for us. And I think that when you get to this point where you have the ability to really reflect and think about those important people that have gone on, you say to yourself, there's something missing, but it's also there.
Right.
And it's a bit of a contradictory stance, but as you know and I know,
Yes.
their presence is in our life.
Always.
What they taught us and instilled in us in the short time they were here has impacted us throughout our whole careers. So there's a happiness to it, there's a sadness to it, and the idea of, we talked about it, having one day, just one day, to have them back and just share with them and look in their eye and hug them and kiss them and just say how much they meant to us.
Right.
It would mean everything.
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 Well said. Last but not least, you go out into your future now and you've seen Beloved in the movement we want to create for it to be like the virus and just get through everybody and affect them in all sorts of ways. How do you do this going forward? How do you continue this in your line of work?
Well, I think, everything is based on how you live your life. We can say what we want, but it's the actions that matter. And I think, being involved in this, it's really opened my eyes to say, yeah, you might have done it before in certain situations, but there has to be a consistency to this. There has to be a messaging that is every day. Right. And I think the important thing is to let people know how you feel. And emotional discussions between black men have been difficult over the past.
Yeah.
And we got to shed that.
We got to change.
We got to get rid of that. We've got to be able to have emotional discussions and understand the value it brings to both individuals and
the
everybody.
Giver and taker.
100%. And ultimately, Jay, at the end of the day, when we talk as black men and we discuss things, the amount of empowerment that happens, the amount of things that we can impact, like this, not like this,
right,
like this, can change so many things. But we have to understand that galvanizing is the key.
Right.
And if we can have these discussions, if we can appreciate each other, and if we can talk about the people in our lives that have gone on, that have put things in us, that have driven us throughout our whole careers.
Correct.
Man, there's a lot of growth there.
There is.
There's a lot of growth
There is.
Yeah.
Change the habit.
Change the habit. Make a new one.
Thank you, Sherman Hamilton.
Always a pleasure, man.
Respect, my brother.
Much love, my man.
I wanna give you your flowers right now.